NECANN 2019, man. I don't get giddy very often, but if you know who this guy is, Rick Naya, you call yourself the great-grandfather, but you know what? You're the man.
Well,
You're the man.
I didn't name myself the great-grandfather of hybrid cannabis. It was a genetic finding through some testings that were done, chromatograph. But the man, I'm of many of the men.
Well, that's fair.
And women, and I believe that I'm just part of a community that has brought together cannabis in a very professional-minded way. I think we're trying to, with NECANN in this event, what I see is maybe 30, 40 years of small festivals and families getting together, just sharing music and arts and crafts and enjoying cannabis on private properties.
Excuse me for saying, but you know that evolutionary chart where they show, the Cro-Magnon man, he's stepping on up?
Sure.
You have watched the evolutionary chart of cannabis.
Yes, that's true.
Going from having to hide
Renegade,
behind the closet doors.
Covert, yes, in the woods, hiding in campsites.
Hey man, you got the stuff.
Yes, the whole thing. We've gone through all of it. I think if you look back into the hippie eras of the 60s and 70s, and when you look at those communities that they were trying to foster and that love and peace and sharing and caring, here we are 50 years later, and that wheel has almost taken into the social fabric of what's happening in our nation, our economy, the way things are changing. We're sensing that all over the nation and all over the world, that we're finding that if we slow down a little bit, and we deregulate and reschedule cannabis, as we have been, allow it medically, decriminalize it, and legalize it, society in itself is getting a better balance.
Sure.
And it's bringing a good homeostasis to economies, as you can see behind us. NECANN, a few years ago, when this first started, I've been a guest for years.
Yeah.
And just to come through here this year is now, we're like a Super Bowl of cannabis here. And I'm very proud.
This is a holiday weekend.
Oh, this is a holiday weekend for cannabis industry professionals throughout the nation and world. We have guests from all over the planet here today and this weekend. And I'm very proud to represent New Hampshire as one of our primary activists.
Would you see who's sitting behind you?
No, I don't.
ChemDog.
Oh, ChemDog's here, right on.
ChemDog's here.
Right on.
It's so funny. I see people walking past you. I see people walking past him, and they're oblivious to who you guys are.
I know. It's really quite something. This industry now, because of this, social media, this type of interaction, and having a regulated market for cannabis, you can see that people are starting to come together. We're not hiding in closets at festivals and campsites any longer. We're in a mainstream. We're bringing this to the forefront, and I'm extremely proud to help represent NECANN, New Hampshire, New England, the nation, Florida, where I'm from, and where the Gainesville Green was bred. I'm very, very proud of that. Yeah, Sunshine Cannabis Family and True Leaf are going to be kicking off my Gainesville Green next week, and I'm just super excited what's happening here in Massachusetts. If you get a look, there's thousands upon thousands of people in here, not only educating, but being educated, and there are very many educated people here to consume technological products, not to consume them with their mouths, but with the knowledge and the data and the information that's here is astronomical. It's leaps and bounds where we were 30 or 40 years ago with a light bulb over a plant.
Oh, yeah.
What we have here is in a closet hiding, but what we have here now is so scientifically and technologically advanced, it's the place to be. And I'm really proud to be here with all these people and fans and friends, and they've known me for many years sponsoring festivals and concerts.
We got magazine covers, we got billboards.
Yes, we do.
We
have a lot of them.
Engagements. We have award ceremonies.
We do. That was a great night last night, and congratulations to all the nominees and all the winners for the awards last night.
Well deserved.
It was well deserved for many of us who've been out there for years, bringing this to a forefront. And I'm very proud, again, to exemplify what we're trying to bring to community and to our society, how economically solid our industry is. And I'm also looking forward for the federal government's, on Tuesday, they'll be looking at regulating banking for cannabis. It's a real big deal for our industry. We need to have this happen.
You know, that is my number one problem right now is, okay, you do this, you do that, you get into business. what do you do with the money?
What do you do with the cash?
How can you write off your expenses?
Now no, you can't, not yet. And
Not yet.
are you able to write off insurance? Now, as you're
Exactly.
finding, some states have started to say that Medicaid or Medicare or workman's compensation claims have to pay for these medical licenses
should.
and for the medicine, as they should. Absolutely, I agree with that.
You know, there's a lot of areas we can fight for. I mean, I'm a big proponent for expungements. I'm a big,
Social economic reform.
Exactly.
Economic
But
empowerment.
When you're talking about insurance, should pay. The VA should pay.
Absolutely.
All the soldiers coming back with PTSD.
Do you know how many billions of dollars our nation would save if we were to allow patients with post-traumatic stress disorder, major injuries, to begin utilizing cannabis on a medically scheduled manner with veterans? We would save billions of dollars. Not only that, we would save their lives. Many of these psychotropic drugs that they feed these veterans truly damage their brain, and it causes suicide. They have the highest rate of suicide in the nation, and those states that have legalized and veterans are using, we're finding a decline. And another thing I want everybody to be aware of, all of the data that we keep hearing from the indoctrinated and the federal government and funded people that work with federal governments, we're finding the opposite is true. So look at the truth in the data. It's out there to research. Please, don't believe everything you hear. Listen to science, listen to the data that we're providing, and then make a good conscientious choice. As you can see, tens of thousands of people and millions upon millions of people throughout the world and nation are starting to come forward. You have everyone here. I saw a minister here. You see every type of walk of life in our industry now. Children in the medical arena. You have adolescents who are in the need. There's so many things that cannabis and our industry bring. And like the different types of things that they offer here. They have branding. They have all forms of marketing, from soils, nutrients, lighting, technologies.
They get worms over there.
They have worms here. They have everything you could possibly imagine to bring our industry to the forefront. And we're doing that now. And I think at the federal level, the nation is beginning to see that. And I think we're going to get the banking to pass. And very shortly, we'll reschedule cannabis on a national level. And we will move our industry, not as you see it now, and like the micro style businesses or the largest ones. You'll see economic empowerment. You'll see smaller communities who have been devastated by the drug wars and failed drug wars stepping in with the large companies who will help fund social economic reform and bring a balance to our nation. And I'm looking forward to continue championing that as we move forward in the next decade or so. You know,
you have me wanting to segue into something else. You have me saying something that you always say now, light and love. Tell me about it.
Wow, oh my. When you say those things to me, it touches my chords. There are very few people that know me very personally, and my family, my Jam Fam and Vibe tribe in New Hampshire, saw something in me years ago that I didn't see in myself. And what they did is they turned me inside out. They showed me that through my actions and not my words, that my voice would be loud. So I learned to receive the truth within myself and my community and listen to them and use their strengths within me as a voice to help our community come together. So when we talk about love and light, the love that I have for my community is a love that they have given unto me.
This is your tribe.
This is my family.
This is your tribe.
And all I can do is use that empowerment that they instilled within me with my words and my actions and the love of this industry, and to keep it moving forward. So love and light to me is beyond a preponderance of a doubt. As you can see, the love that I've received from this industry is beyond recognition. I've been involved in all forms of sports, all forms of accolades, and involved in racing, sporting, fishing, all kinds of things. But this industry in itself brings more love and more truth and light with science and data than I have ever found. And not even the medical community, who is blinded by our federal government and big pharma. It's the cannabis community who are educating the medical community now as to what the endocannabinoid system is and how it orchestrates our homeostasis, how it orchestrates our enzymes, our peptides, our nutrients throughout our organs in an orchestrated manner. Many have a deficiency in our endocannabinoid system, and many of us may not. But those that do have to be educated, and doctors need to educate themselves. And most of that education is happening with citizens and medical patients who are the voice. Now doctors are beginning to step up and learn more, and they're learning in numbers. That our voice now is reckoned with. And I have to be very, very proud. It's like back in the day, and let's be very frank and clear, when the gays and the lesbians and the transvestites and the LGBT was moving forward, it was years ago, it was a sin. They thought, oh, that's bad. Well, as we grew and we found that through love and light and truth, that all beings must share their love with either one another and with our community. The sky did not fall. And as with cannabis and all the data and the research that we've provided throughout our nation and throughout the world, nothing has fallen. In fact, everything seems to fall in the opposite direction. Less alcoholism, less accidents. They believe that cannabis smokers have a propensity to have accidents. In fact, the studies that we're having now are proving otherwise. And I think in time, we're shifting. The world is shifting. The indoctrinated are educating, the educated are educating them. Our nation, our communities are balancing it out through cannabis. So it's really quite something. To have a plant who is bound with our endocannabinoid system, it's there to create homeostasis for our body, to ward off disease. It's there for us, but now it's championing us to help bring a social norm to our communities and to our nation and world. So no prouder place to be for someone like myself after 30, 40 years of using cannabis and spreading, like Johnny Appleseed, spreading the word, spreading the seed, spreading the vibes, the love and the light. To be where we're at today is like no other time in our history. And I'm very proud to be with NECANN, Disrupt Boston, our community here, all of the vendors, the staff, everybody that's made this happen. I want to thank you all for supporting us throughout the years. And as we move forward, please make a conscientious effort to recognize why you use cannabis. Do you use it recreationally to enjoy yourself? Or do you use it medically for anxiety or pain? Do you use it to balance your endocannabinoid system? Get out there, learn about cannabis on your own, go to the educated people and find out why we have an adult recreational Cannabis Control Commission throughout New England to help support what citizens have voted for. So in itself, my friend, the love and light comes from people like yourself, from our community. It's no better place to be than in the bosom, as I say, of cannabis, to share that love and light with our community. It touches my soul, as you can see.
Absolutely.
I become emotional because to have said these things 40 years ago was grounds to go to prison. And to be able to be on television and be live and to tell the nation and the world that cannabis is here to stay. And we're very proud to represent New England and Massachusetts and all our constituents, our legislators and all of the senators and our governors. Thank you so very much for believing in the facts and the science that we provided as we move forward. I'm really, really proud of where we've come and where we're going. Yeah, man, it's really cool. Yeah.
You've heard it here from Rick Naya. Yesterday, I got a chance to take a photo with not only Rick, but Irie Lyon and Colin Gordon. And I got to tell you, if I have superstars in my eyes, it's because these guys got together. All three of them very influential, people I look up to. And this is what you're finding down here at NECANN 2019. As I said before, we're going to be coming at you all day long. We got more guests lined up. Rick Naya, love you, man.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank NECANN TV. I want to thank all of the periodicals, Sensi, Green Line, everybody that brings media to the forefront. Disrupt Boston. Thank you so very much for helping cannabis come to the forefront.
Peace.
Peace.